Today, Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz made his 6th trip to Pennsylvania, his 3rd to Western PA since joining the Harris ticket.
Walz spent the day in Volant Borough and Butler County before making his way to Acrisure Stadium right now for the rally. KDKA's Chris Hoffman spent the day with the Walz campaign. He's live on the North Shore.
Josh, we have a crowd that's starting to get packed here inside Acrisure Stadium, inside the Great Hall, where we're getting some speakers that are expected to be introducing the Minnesota governor here shortly. It was a 3-county tour for him that started up in Lawrence County in the Valent area. It was really an effort to get the Democratic vice presidential nominee out into the rural areas. These are the areas that have been voting heavily Republican in the last 2 elections. So Governor Walz spoke before a crowd of about 100 people or so at the Tellez farm. The farm owner himself is a former Trump voter who is now voting for Kamala Harris. In the speech that lasted about a half hour or so, Walz tried to appeal to small-town America and address unifying everyone under one country, ending the dividedness, as he pointed out, that we've seen in politics over the last almost decade or so. Now, in the process, he did poke at the former president and say he doesn't understand what the needs are of farmers and those rural communities. Minnesota Governor encouraged supporters to explain this to their neighbors. He also addressed rural health care concerns.
We're going to recruit 10,000 rural healthcare professionals. Cut the number. This is a term that none of us knew before. Ambulance deserts. There's large places in America right now. If you dial 911, it's very difficult to get to an ambulance right on time. Our EMTs are in short supply. We want to make sure that we're cutting that in half, expanding telemedicine and access to affordable quality healthcare for everyone in every part of the country.
Now, the next county that the governor stopped at was Butler County. He went to the Valencia area and stopped at the Bloom Cafe at Quality Garden. Now, this was a much more intimate setting. We're talking about only about maybe 30 or so people being there. Governor Walz speaking to them in a much more closer setting, addressing much of those same needs. Talking about rural concerns, small-town America, trying to address health care. But he also really stressed the importance of Democrats in these heavily red areas getting out, voting, and trying to drive down the margins. Again, these are counties that former President Donald Trump won by wide margins in 16 and 20. Walz really trying to drive home that message if the Democrats are going to have a chance of swinging this region in this very crucial battleground state. You got to drive down those margins and make it closer there in what's expected to be a very tight race. You can hear everything going on behind me. Coming up right now is actually Governor Tim Walz, the Democratic vice presidential nominee. He's actually taking the stage right now. I'm going to try to step out of the way here so you can see some of this. Again, this is his 3rd stop here. We got a few hundred people. Much different appearance for the governor right now, as he was wearing flannel out at those stops in Lawrence and Butler County, now appearing in a white shirt, no tie, and suit. A much different look than what he was going for when he was out in those rural areas. This 3rd stop of the day. We will have much more on this throughout the evening. You will hear from the vice presidential nominee coming up a little bit later. Live in Acrisure Stadium, Chris Hoffman, KDKA-TV News.